Hello, my name is Margaret Adele. I am tired and I am going to be reading to keep feels away. For those of you who have been keeping up with my channel, you know that my husband and I became foster parents in April of this year, and we just sent the little back home to her birth family yesterday. Dropped her off and said goodbye for the final time. So I'm in a really weird head place right now. The best way I can think of to explain it is, imagine it's like a Sunday afternoon. You got to go back to work or school on Monday, but you're trying to enjoy the time off. Only there's something in the back of your mind saying that you should be doing something, like there is something you should be doing, but when you actually try to think about it, you can't remember it. That's the feeling. Because there's a lot of little things in my daily life that were time spent on the little that aren't there anymore. For example, the fact that I'm now vlogging in the morning instead of getting her, dressed and hairbrushed and half rushing her out the door to drop her off to daycare or school. So I'm going to be vlogging and reading to fill the void, and there's really only one book that I can read for this one because of the strange sentimental value this series has connected to my foster parenting experience, and that is Wildfire Hellhound by Zoe Chant. I read the first one in this series the first day we had our placement, and I purposely picked it out from BookBub because I knew I needed something that was fairly lighthearted, fairly simple, something that I knew, and this series ended up being, yes, that, but also more than that. So this series, the Wildfire Shifter series, revolves around a group of hotshots, aka the firefighters that go in to fight wildfires, and they're all also magic shifters. But there's kind of like this weird supernatural thing that's causing fires, and I kind of got to figure out why, what is it fighting against that's so bad. And this book was one of the ones I was most looking forward to, A, because it was supposed to come out in May and it got pushed back until September, so all of the anticipation, but also it deals with one of the most mysterious members of the Hotshot crew, the Hellhound Fenrir. For the longest time in the series, you have not seen him in his human form, just in his Hellhound form, and a lot of them assume he can't shift into a human at all. Now, we know that because he has a book, he can, otherwise his romance would be weird. But the other thing I really liked is my friend Laura Diaz de Arce, who already read this book to tell me about, and yes, I'm mad about that, Laura, but I do appreciate that she loves this one as much as I do. The female protagonist, our female love interest, has Turner syndrome, which is a disorder in which the female is only born with one X chromosome. And I do not know the full implications of that. I will probably do some more research on it later, but it is early morning. I have to leave for work in a little over half an hour, and I still have the towel turban on my head, and I'm hungry. So I'm going to jump into the rest of my morning routine. Now it won't feel quite so big and empty, and I might do a quick check-in at work. Maybe. More than likely, I'll probably wait until after, but I will see you then. Alright, so I am home from work. I didn't do any reading on my lunch break because I ended up eating with my husband. And then I got home and I'm like, I'm gonna take a quick walk. The rain should hold off. It did not. But I guess I can do some reading while I wait to dry off. Well, the hair is still damp, but I have read 40 pages of the book and so good. It's awesome, but I'm already like really desperate for it to keep moving. And you knew the entire series that Fenrir, the Hellhound, the wolf, was always secretly a shifter because he was connected to the other shifters, but you never saw him in human form. That was the whole thing. They didn't even think he had one. They weren't sure, but then you see it in this one, and him as a human is adorably inept, and I love it, and I love Darcy, but also there's this part of me that's like, I want the rest of the characters, I want the pack, because this is one of those series where every book is a different couple getting together, but it's all the same recurring characters, so you want like every member of this hotshot team to have a partner, and you want them all to come back, and you want to see them continuing in their happy lives. So I'm super excited for this because he just said, call pack, we must call pack. So now they're going to be coming, and like I want to keep reading. And the idea, I think, is to read about 115 to 120 pages a day, and that should get this read in 3 days. It might not even take that much because, it's so good. And last time, well, almost every time I read a book in this series, I end up reading more than I intended to because I love it that much. But I also gotta, go make dinner and do dailies and other stuff. So I'm going to force myself to step back, at least for a little bit, so I can go work on that. So remember that part where I said that I was going to go do some other stuff and save the reading until later for a little bit? I didn't do that. So I was making dinner, as you can see, dinner. And I just kept reading while I was making dinner. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to let dinner cool. So I sat down and I kept reading. And now I'm at page 80. I didn't mean to get there. And I still have the workout, which I usually read during. However, husband and I have also taken to watching The Voice, so I might work out during that, because I don't know how I'm going to be able to stay away from this book for very long, because it's just so good. The pack members, at least a couple of them are back, including Edith, who is my favorite. She is the female romantic interest from the first book, and she is autistic, and I love her. She is my favorite, and so I'm so happy she's back, because like she and Fenrir always had this like extra special bond, because she could understand him in a way the others couldn't because of her autism, and I love that little extra aspect that her autism was like a superpower. But in general, we're getting into the nitty gritty and the cool, like, big plot stuff, and I'm just enjoying this so much. This is my most anticipated book of the fall for a reason, and really what I needed in the first couple days, being, well, an empty nester, really. But I do need to actually eat dinner. My husband will be home, I don't know, at some point, probably in like half an hour. And we're going to do some stuff together. So I will try to wait a bit before I keep reading. Hello, I just reached page 121 of this, and I'm actually going to make myself stop tonight, mostly because there are some other like journal writing things that I have yet to do, but I am really enjoying this. The romance isn't the insta-love type thing that a lot of the other ones were. Not that it was bad, but because this is the 5th book in a series with a lot of like-minded plots, you gotta keep shaking it up. And this is also the longest of the series, but it reads really quickly as all the other ones did. It's just amazing to think that, like, in the other books, they'd already be over halfway done, and I'm not even halfway done yet. So I really appreciate that. I love Darcy, and Fenrir, again, as a human, is just adorable. So cute. But we have yet to reach the overarching plot coming into play, which, again, is kind of normal for this series. They usually give some time for the romance to build before bringing in the life and death Hellhound stuff. But in general, I'm really glad that I picked this book to read in my post empty nest haze. Feelings have not hit me yet. I don't know when they will. I feel like they will. Maybe I just need to make a really sad music playlist. I don't know. But I am going to call it here for tonight. I will talk to you tomorrow. So I decided to do some reading on my lunch break today. So I got the other 40 pages read during that, and it's really angsty, like super angsty, like, Fenrir, my heart goes out to him. There hasn't been a lot about the female protagonist's Turner syndrome, not that I've seen, other than like a mention of a diagnosis, which could be the whole part of it, or there could be a discussion of it at the end. That's more how it went the last couple books. But I am really liking it so far. However, I have to get some household stuff done for a bit, you know, dishes and making dinner and all that super fun stuff. But I'm definitely going to finish at least another 80 pages tonight. We don't have anything to watch tonight, so maybe even more than that. Let's see. I love playing with the ring light in my glasses because it kind of makes me look otherworldly. But anyway, I just did a whole bunch of stuff, played guitar, did some writing, got dinner, filmed a review. I still got a ton more of those to film at some point, but it is finally time to get back to reading. For how long have we been driving by? I am sweaty, but the workout has been done. I have read a little less than 60 pages, which means I don't have a lot left to read for tonight to get this read in 3 days. And I loved this section. Not only did you have Darcy discussing her Turner syndrome and a lot more about what that means, especially when it comes to having kids, because Turner syndrome leaves all of the sufferers basically infertile, but I appreciated that. And I also might have to look up, because it might actually be a book that Zoe Chant read or wrote, because this is an extended universe. One of the other characters was mentioning that his aunt was a hellhound shifter, or rather became a hellhound shifter when she met her wife, aka Queer True Mates, and I need that book. Somewhere, it's got to be somewhere. Zoe Chant likes to write this giant extended universe where all the shifters are in the same society. There's an entire prequel series to this one, so I need it. I need their story. I need Betty and Hope's story so badly, because there's just not a lot of like queer soulmate, true mate shifter stuff, because it's so obsessed with having babies, but I need it. So I might have to do some research, but I also gotta like do some other editing and other fun stuff, and then I will finish the book for tonight, and I'll be that much closer to having read it. Alright, so I have just gotten to page 242, so that's it for the night. It was a lovely reading session, seeing as I figured out that I hadn't spun a Pokestop for the day, and I've kind of gotten obsessed with the game again. So my husband reminded me that that lovely ice cream shop slash soda parlor that's near our house had a Pokestop near it. So I got my lovely pineapple mango coconut cream soda and made some popcorn for myself. So then it was a good time. And also some big things happening, some big reveals, and of course I've gotten to the part of the book where I can't really talk about it in depth because spoilers, but I'm really enjoying it. It's awesome, and I've got only about 110 pages left. So that'll be an easy read tomorrow. But I'm not sure that I'm prepared for this to be over. There's only one more book left in the series. What am I supposed to do when it's done? Hello, I am home from work, and I read on my break, and honestly, was very dramatic. Big battle scenes, big reveals about characters, especially about Blaze, which is awesome because hers is the next and final book, so we have an idea of the big tension going into that, and I'm not going to spoil it. But we are currently in the darkest night before the dawn when everything seems bleak and hopeless, and it's so angsty, and I love it so much. The overarching plot has really picked up, and I don't have that much left, less than 100 pages. So I'm gonna finish that real quick. I probably will finish it during the workout tonight. But it is a gorgeous day. I want to go take a walk and do some of my dailies and get dinner and like other stuff. So I will check in once I've done a bit of reading. We planned our grandest escape. I am tired and sweaty, but I am also done. And yes, tired and sweaty. But anyway, this was a very nice ending, properly big battle, and it ended with one of those we are all in it together fights and a major reveal that set up the last book in the series perfectly. And I'm super excited for Blaze's story, and I have no idea when it's going to come out. Probably not for a while, because I think this book was meant to come out in like May, and then it ended up not coming out until September. So suffice to say, the author's got some other stuff going on, but it was that perfect found family delight that I love, and I'm looking forward to the next one / gonna be really sad that it's over. And I'm also just realizing the fact that I will probably, if it comes out this year, I will have read this entire series in a year, and I'm very proud about that. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here, I will be doing a lot more reading vlogs coming up now that I am more able to do them more freely, as there's no one in the house whose face I cannot show on social media. And also I have a lot of more time that I really need to take up because my house is too empty right now. Anyway, so be on the lookout for that. And please, if you're interested, check out the first book in this series, Wildfire Griffin. Again, this is one of my all-time favorite shifter romances, and Laura Diaz de Arce is with me on that. We both have been talking about how much we love it. Edith is still my favorite, but with nothing else to say, I hope you have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow. I'm sorry, do you want to do my outro for me?
I wanted to, yeah. Have a wonderful day and a marvelous tomorrow. You
Bye.
should get a t-shirt.